What's up, plant fam? How's everybody doing? Well, I hope you're doing well. It's Jeff here, Tropical Plant Party, and I want to talk about philodendron, specifically Selloum Philodendron or Philodendron can't pronounce it. Bipinnatifidum. I'll spell it out here. Another thing, real quick, if you are ever stumbling on pronunciation, like I am now, Missouri Botanical Gardens website has a little symbol above their plant descriptions, and if you click it, it's a little speaker, it'll pronounce things for you.
Philodendron Bipinnatifidum.
These are great philodendrons both as houseplants and to grow outdoors. If you want to grow them outdoors, I would say zone 9 and south is probably best, but you could probably pull these off in warmer parts of zone 8 as well. I have successfully overwintered them here in zone 6B, but they died all the way back to the ground, and when they returned, they really didn't do much. But I think that with a longer growing season, you would get something more impressive. And there is a variety of this philodendron called the Hope, or it's just Hope, Philodendron Hope. And it is smaller, it stays more shrubby, and it's supposed to be much more cold hardy. So if you're in zone 8, that might be a good option for you. These philodendrons like shade, but you can't put them in the sun. The foliage might scorch. You can see some scorching that occurred here. We had some temperatures around 105, and it got a little bit too much sun and got a little bit cooked. And the leaves are going to be a lighter green if you have them in the sun, as opposed to a darker, more deep green, probably larger leaves as well in the shade. These are really good understory plants. They can grow, I think, 12 to 15 feet if you have them in the ground. In a pot, I don't think they're probably going to get quite that big for you. This one is a noob that I picked up from the hardware store for, I believe it was like $11 or $12, and it has a lot of little plants in it. I'm going to be dividing it in a different video. But I have another one that is older and has a small trunk on it. So outside, these are a great understory plant. They don't typically climb, but sometimes they will. They do like nice irrigation, so they don't want to dry out for too terribly long. Keep them well watered, and since they're understory, you do have to make sure if they're receiving deep shade that the water is getting to them. In my experience, these are not heavy feeders as far as needing fertilizer goes, so you could probably get by with only fertilizing them once or twice a year with an all-purpose fertilizer. But you still have to keep an eye out, just like with any plant, for yellowing and different symptoms that there might be a deficiency. I've never experienced any deficiencies with mine, and they're in pots. These look really great planted in groups around the bases of trees, along fences, and indoors when they're smaller, very small. You could grow them as a tabletop plant, but it's typically going to be more of a floor plant for you. Indoors, it should do well for you from low light all the way up to high light. And the high light, though, you got to keep an eye on them because the leaves could scorch. So if that happens, move them to a place where the light's a little bit more diffused. Indoors, these are also going to need more watering. There's less humidity indoors typically, so the soil is going to dry out faster. In my personal experience, mine have dried out for days at a time and been fine. A lot of things online say to only let them dry out for a day or two or maybe 3, and that they don't really handle drought very well, but like I said, mine have dried out for far longer than that. I think I maybe water mine every couple weeks when they're indoors, but they get a very heavy drenching, and they're in a cool spot with low light, so they're not really in a heavy growing mode, so that helps with that a lot. One of the things I really like about this plant is that they are generally relatively cheap, both as a house plant and as a perennial if you live someplace where you can grow them outdoors as a perennial, and they're just so easy to care for. I have seen these listed as a clean air plant if you're growing them indoors, and that could be a perk. And then even as these grow and get their little trunks on them, the trunks are really cool looking. They're usually gray and smooth, some bumps. They do have aerial roots that come out. Looks pretty neat. These give a really nice tropical statement, and they're super low maintenance. Now over here, this is my larger that I've had for a very long time. Let's see if we can get in there and see the trunk. All right, so as you can see, this guy's has its trunk on it. A lot of noise from the water back there. I've probably had this bigger guy for just a few years, and it was just as small as the other guy when I got it. Shameful confession, I've never repotted it either, which I need to, but it's been doing so well. It's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's one of those sorts of situations, but it is going to be repotted this summer. There are tons of other varieties of philodendrons. I'm just kind of highlighting this one for now. There's another variety I really like called the Xanadu, which has a similar leaf, but it's a much smaller plant. They kind of have a reddish undertone. Right here is the Philodendron Xanadu. They have aerial roots, cute little trunk on them, and you can see there's a little bit more color to the foliage. And these are nice understory plant if you want something a lot smaller. I have noticed this doesn't seem to grow quite as fast, but I'm still impressed with how fast it grows considering most things online talk about them growing dreadfully slow. That'll do it for today. Those are just some quick facts about the Philodendron Selloum. I hope everybody's doing well. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you already haven't. Comment down below. I love talking to y'all. Let me know if you've grown this, if you know anybody who has, how it's done, what you do for yours, what you like about it, what you hate about it. Don't forget to keep on growing. Bye-bye, everybody.